want to draw, but your drawing skills is the same as a kindergartner, well, too bad. There's nothing you can do about it. Nah, it's fine. I'll help you. Today, we're gonna learn how to draw a portrait. So let's get started. First thing, material. So material, let me see what I have written because you tend to forget things. So I wrote it. So material, if you are just a beginner, you are starting to draw things and you want to start to draw portraits, then I would recommend this. Our trusted pencil. You can use wooden pencil, you can use mechanical pencil. It's cheap and it gets the work done. So that's what we are going for. But if you want to have a little more shades, you can add pencils like 6B, 10B, etc. Whatever you want. Personally, I think 10B and 6B are fine. And apart from that, you'll need 2B. Everyone has a 2B. So yeah, you can have these three pencils and you can draw pretty much anything. And you can also have a black pen. I use a normal black pen, a gel pen, for the parts that are too dark to be drawn by pencil, or maybe they are not too dark to draw by a charcoal pencil, but I still want it to be a little fine, and charcoal pencils tend to be a little messier than a pen, so you can use a pen there. And with charcoal, I want to say you can also use charcoal. It is a little harder to use than a pencil, that's what I think. I started to recently use charcoal, so maybe that's why it is like that, but I don't know, man. And if you're going for black and white portrait, you can use these material, but if you want to be a little more fancy, you can use colored material like gouache. Wait a second. These are my gouache paints and I love them. This is not sponsored, of course it is not sponsored, but I love them. Yeah, so I use gouache. You can use anything, acrylic, watercolor, oil paints, but I personally think like gouache, it's like a child of watercolor and acrylic in the best way possible. So yeah, that's why I use it. But it's like so good. So if you want me to make a tutorial for gouache, just tell me, I'll make it in the next video maybe. Now the second point comes, how to choose a reference. Everybody knows Pinterest, right? Well, if you don't know, you better make a Pinterest account right now if you want to be a good artist. Because Pinterest is like the hub of artists. And it's like the hub of all the creative people, all the creative beings in the world. So I would highly recommend Pinterest for the reference pick. And some people might argue, wait a minute, reference is cheating or something like that. Something along that line. But personally, I don't think so. And why do you use a reference? Some people might be like, wait, I don't use a reference and my drawings are still better than you, or maybe something along those lines. But that might be true in some case, but if you want to improve, use a reference, please. It's my suggestion, but you should take it. And also, the new beginner in portrait drawing usually tend to mess up with proportions. So if you are using a reference, it is slightly lesser chance of missing the proportions, I guess. And one thing, a lot of people tend to say that they have same face syndrome and a thing like that. But personally, I don't think so. If you are using a reference, having same face syndrome is pretty slim chances, I guess. So I don't have same face syndrome. Yeah, I don't have it. But if you want to improve your same face syndrome, then you better use some references and not a reference that looks same, because then there's no point. But you got to do some different references every time. Now you might think, what? Do you really improve it? So here is my drawing before using any reference. I was a child at that time, but still I didn't use any reference. And this one is from the same time, but I used the references then in this one, okay? And so now, what reference to use? So for the beginners, I would suggest to use an easy reference. Now what you might think is, what is the easy reference? So an easy reference is something which is not tilted. Like a tilt like this is okay, but a tilt like that, I would suggest you do that after few portraits because we first need some easy wins so that the next time we get stuck in something, it's fine because we already have some wins. Because if we get stuck at first, we might quit it, okay? So that's why I'm suggesting it. Like, don't have them make some complex poses, and that's why I'm saying that use an easy reference. Or one suggestion is that don't draw self portraits. A lot of people do draw themselves as the OC, so they can draw self portraits, I guess. But if you're drawing realism, I would suggest you to not draw self portraits because I have tried these. This was many years ago, but still, and portraits are somewhat harder than regular drawings. Why? I don't know. But for me, they are. For you, they might not be. So maybe some try it, but I would suggest try it after some wins. Okay. Now, now that I've said that how to use reference, now a lot of people get confused on Pinterest because there are so many options. But what I want you to say, what I want you to find is a vibe. Like that's what I mostly do. Someday I want to draw something cool, something like a boss lady, okay, or something like that. So I tend to search for it, okay. But if you don't even know like what vibe do you want, like like Ghibli art, it always have that cheerful vibe. A vibe can also be a part of your art style. Like some people only tend to draw cheerful drawings, or some people only like to draw cool drawings, or some people only like to draw depressing drawings. Well, it's your choice. How do you want to be? So, if you don't know what vibe to pick, then you can just choose a song. I know it sounds pretty weird. How can a song lead me to a drawing or a reference? But just think of song, or maybe your favorite song, or maybe a song that is stuck in your mind or something, and then you think about it. How would that song look if it was a person? And try to search a reference for it. Like I have drawn some portraits like that, like this portrait. Yeah, this portrait I drew with the song "Washing Machine Heart" by Mitsuki. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Yeah, so I drew this by being inspired with the song, but I searched for the reference and I found this. I used this as a reference, and I you can see I added some sort of bandage or rope, you can say. I actually got inspired with this reference pic right here. I will attach it here. This artist, it was wonderful. So I thought like the washing machine heart, the song is kind of like the girl is trapped in a love kind of thing. So that's what I tried to draw here. Yeah. So you can do that. It also makes you a little more creative. Like now we have gone with the reference, so it's time for the actual process. So draw a circle for the head to the nose and then draw a line. This is going to decide the tilt of the face, and the whole face is going to be drawn around that. So make sure it is correct and parallel to the reference. And then I'm going to add horizontal line for the position of eyes and bunch of lines for the eyebrows and lines and eyes and some basic shapes for the nose and lips too. Usually it's a triangle for the nose and bunch of circles for the lips. Then for the final sketch I'm going to start from the eyebrows, then I'm going to draw eyes, and then after that I will be drawing nose and then lips. I tend to draw it always like that because I don't know, because it's much more helpful for me to decide where the nose and lips go, like that. And after that I'm just drawing the final sketch and filling some pencil and blending it. So now I added dark black permanent sketch and also black pen for the areas that were too dark in the reference. And now I'm adding 10B pencil and blending it with the tissue to add a little more depth. And now I will be drawing some details for the clothes and blending it with the tissue, trying to make it more stylized by using a pen. And now I'm drawing the hair accessories. And now I'm adding the shadow. Try to not blend the shadow too much because the shadow has a distinct boundary. Yeah, and then adding white highlights at last. So I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.